Hello, how are you? As usual, we'll start with a prayer because we cannot forget for a second about our family, other people that are suffering, etc. So today's prayer is not actually a verse from the Torah, but it's a verse of prayer, Nuschat Tefillah, and it goes like this. It's also part of a song that the Rebbe taught us. Leman cho Eloheinu aseh v'leilanu ri'ei amidoseinu dalim v'reikim. So what that means is that we turn to Hashem and we say, Hashem, for your sake, not ours, for behold, how we stand before you, poor and empty. So there's a lot to talk about concerning the interpretation, but just to say it very, very concise, we turn to God and we say, similar to what we say in davening every day, Berachamecha harabim rachem aleinu, which in a certain sense means only you truly understand how the situation is not so good at all. You understand the mercy on us. You understand being the true connoisseur of spirituality and holiness. So you understand what it means that we have a soul, and the soul is hungry, and the soul is thirsty, and the soul is searching, and it wants to be reunited and go on much higher levels of connection and attachment to Hashem. So we say, Berachamecha harabim. Out of your understanding of the mercy on us, have mercy on us. Now the same thing is over here when we say, Leman cho Elokeinu aseh, for your benefit. You truly appreciate what it means, a shul that's open and that there's prayers happening there. You truly understand the greatness of a million of Jews together, gathered and singing your praises. You understand the power of the Torah, which is learned in all the yeshivas. And yet, all these things are not happening now. So, Leman cho Elokeinu aseh, you're the one that truly understands the void. You're the one that truly understands the concealment. You're the one that truly understands how much the truth is being hidden right now and covered up. So please take care of the situation. But then obviously the question becomes, if he really understands, why is he the one that's also causing this? And one answer is, in a certain sense, because he wants us to cry out to him. He wants us to ask, Father, Abba, Hatzileni. Today we'll talk about the custom that we say every single day from Rosh Chodesh Nisan till Yud Gimel Nisan. We read the passages of the Torah that talk about the donations that the tribal leaders brought when the tabernacle, when the Mishkan was erected. So, Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the leader of the tribe of Yehuda came and brought a sacrifice. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every single day there was another sacrifice, and there was a head of another tribe that brought the sacrifice. And the Torah enumerates each one of the sacrifices in Parshas Naso. And each time another day came and another head of a tribe brought the sacrifice, the Torah enumerates every single day. And it says what happened that day. And he says the sacrifice that they brought. So everyone knows the famous question. And that is, why does the Torah repeat itself 11 times? B'yom hasheni hikiv nesanel ben Tzuar, b'yom hashlishi nosel b'nei Zvulon, karbanoi. And it goes through every single detail of what consisted their sacrifice. Why couldn't the Torah just say that from the first day of the month of Nisan, every single day, another tribal leader brought a sacrifice, and this was the sacrifice? So the Torah just could have said it once and said that this was the sacrifice that they all brought. Why did the Torah have to repeat itself so many times? And we know that everything in Torah is absolute perfection and precision. So one of the answers, a beautiful answer, gets to the crux of the issue, another famous subject in Judaism, which is that on the one hand we say, Hamaisa hu ha'ikar. It's not about good intentions, it's not about motivation, but just the deed. It's not about talk, it's about action. It's not so much about the study, but it's about performance. Performance is paramount. Action. That's what counts. So that's what it means. But then there are sometimes where we say that it's actually the intention which creates the reality. It's the spirit, it's the intention which changes the object. So in other words, and this is the answer over here. You know why the Torah repeats it 12 times? Because it was 12 different sacrifices. True, physically, you could argue and say it was the same sacrifice. In other words, 12 people made chocolate cake. And they read the same recipe. And the chocolate cake was 10 tablespoons of sugar with chocolate chips, with whatever else you need to make a good chocolate chip cake. But what happens if I told you, no! 12 different people made chocolate cake. They all followed the same recipe technically, but we still consider 12 different cakes. Why? Because each one invested different ideas into the cake. And therefore it's a different cake. This is Rachel's cake, this is Sarah's cake, this is Rivka's cake. It's a different cake because, imagine that because they invested it with a different intention, a different love, a different care, a different compassion, the cake tastes differently. So here we have the wonderful lesson. The Torah is telling us that those that come from the tribe of Ruvain, so the one who brought for the tribe of Ruvain, and he brought a sacrifice, he represents the Ruvain twist. The one who brought the sacrifice for Shimon represents the tribe of Shimon aspect. Now, what does that mean? And what does that tell us? So it talks about you have a job. You have to make a contribution. But you have to realize what's your contribution. And on that itself, there's two levels. There's, let's say, for example, who am I? Am I a doctor? Am I a lawyer? Am I a poet? But then in that itself, what type of doctor? What type of lawyer? What type of poet? And this defines who you are. And therefore, that is the basis of your life, and it spurs you on. So now, we're in the month of Nisan, and this is what will bring about a rejuvenation. This is what has to be at the get-go, at the foundation. And this is what spurs the person to fulfill whatever he has to fulfill, and accomplish whatever he has to accomplish. Realize, are you Ruvain? Are you Shimon? Are you Levi? And then orientate yourself in such a way and act accordingly. I could tell you, from this we go to the idea of a sense of purpose and a sense of meaning in life, and now that this is the most important thing. Realize what your mission is. I was sent on this planet Earth to fill in the blank space. Last year, I was going through a medical crisis, a serious situation. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Hoidu ladinoi ki tov ki le'elam chazdai. With the Abish's help, I survived. And I could tell you that there were days in the morning where the only thing that got me to get up and to have spirit and to continue was because I have a mission. I have a shlichut from the Rebbe. And this is the only thing that helped me. A person sometimes going through circumstances like now, in isolation, or like myself, when you have your darker moments where things are very bad and you're so miserable, you cannot imagine. And you think to yourself, what would happen now if it was over? Who would care? What difference would it make? So of course, a purpose and a meaning and an anchor and a foundation in life is family, of course. But I thought to myself, family is more of a general motivator. But it might not help the person on a particular day, a Wednesday morning at 6:30 a.m. to give you the energy to blast out of the bed in the morning and to be functioning at a high level to accomplish what you're meant to accomplish. Yes, family will give you the comfort and the peace of mind to be able to continue on generally. But what about right now? What's going to be that injection that can make all the difference? And the answer is, if you give yourself over to a higher calling, to a higher purpose, you have a deep sense of meaning in life, and you feel that your contribution is essential on a cosmic level. Why? Because you were given instructions, because you were given orders. My wife makes a joke sometimes. She can't afford to be depressed. There's no time to have a nervous breakdown. Mothers have to forge on. And it's their sense and their mission of being a mother that keeps them going. So too now, when we're dealing with the whole situation, the people that will look inside themselves, dig deeper, and find their sense of purpose, whether it's they're a Ruvain, or they belong to the tribe of Shimon, whether you're a deep sea diver, whether you're a sniper, whether you work in intelligence, whether you drive a tank, whether you're a pilot, whatever your mission is, whatever sense and degree of contribution that you and only you alone can bring to the table, your awareness and your consciousness of this purpose and this mission will carry you through. And I once heard an unbelievable word from Rabbi Groner. Rabbi Yitzchak David Groner, who was the head Shliach in Melbourne, he used to chazer a word. And that is about the Aron. There was the Ark. And it said that the members of Shevet Levi from Kahos, they were the ones that their job in the tabernacle when they traveled was to carry the Ark. So it says that Ha'aron noiseyes noisov, which means the Gemara mentions this, and it's not clear whether it was a one-off miracle that happened once or twice or whether it happened more often. And that is, there was the Ark, they held the Ark, but when they had to cross the river, the Ark lifted itself up like a flying carpet, and those members of Shevet Levi that were carrying the Ark, they were lifted up by the Ark, and the Ark carried them. So it's not that they were carrying the Ark. More than they were carrying the Ark was carrying them. Rabbi Groner used to say, whoever is involved in Avodas HaKodesh, in the holy work, teachers, rabbis, those that dedicate themselves for others, in the Rebbe we see that all those people will say openly and clearly that Aron Nesi'im Noisov, the mission carries those who dedicate themselves to the mission. What the mission gives them is more than what they give the mission. It has a rebound effect. When you dedicate yourself to a mission, it becomes the absolute stimulator. And it gives you, it breathes new life and energy to your existence on every single level. So my wish to you all is Hatzlacha in all your Avodas HaKodesh. You should all have much success in all your spiritual endeavors. And you should see the return that comes from the investment. Ha'aron Nesi'im Noisov. And then all of us will become more alive, physically also, to carry out our mission to bring Mashiach. Broadcasting from my retreat in Melbourne, Be'ez Hashem Yisbarich, your man in Melbourne.